Hello everyone, my name is Lee Ryden, and I decided to do my thematic unit on the weather. The first thing that we're going to start off doing is we're going to have to group our students. And I decided to group the kids in groups of 5 to 6, and this would be in no particular order or no particular ability level. They'll participate in 5 different centers or workstations, and they will rotate every 10 to 15 minutes, and that's just dependent upon the length of the class. The first center is going to be weather charades, and this is a center that is designed for the kids to illustrate a weather term. They can either act it out physically, or they can draw something on a poster board, a whiteboard, or some sort of paper, and give the kids, give the other students clues as to what they're trying to come up with. They will be given a sheet of paper like this, and it's just like any other charade game that you play. They'll look at it, read the word, read the definition, and then act it out. For those who don't, like ESL students, who may have a little bit of trouble with the definition, they can come and ask me, and I can give them assistance as to what that word is if they might not understand. Let's say the word would be cyclone, and the student would either have to get up and physically, turn like a cyclone would, or they can use a pen or something and make a cyclone on the paper. And they have to do different things as to help the students figure out, or their group figure out, which word it is that they're trying to come up with. Okay. The second group that we will be doing would be weather facts or fiction. And the students will be given a worksheet. And on this worksheet, the students will either write in the word fact or fiction, depending on which one they think it is. One sentence would have, like, a tornado is a violently rotating column of air in contact with and extending between a convective cloud and the surface of the earth. Now that student would either have to put fact or fiction out beside that question. And once the papers have all been done, they'll be just turned in, and we can either switch them around with each student, and we can all just go over it as a class. The thing is, with that also, if the question is a fiction answer, then the students must find the correct answer and write it underneath that question. They may use the internet, or they can use their textbooks as well. So, the next center is the math center. And at this, students, they will work together to construct a weather map. Students, they can use their prior knowledge of the temperatures and weather terms, and they can use poster board to show cold fronts, temperatures in certain states, and in the highs and lows, like in our state of Texas. So what we'll do is they can either, draw the lines showing, okay, from here to here, there's a low front, or there might be a cold front coming up in Texas, and they will have to label that on their map. And they can either just single out Texas, just draw Texas, and give the temperatures or the weather conditions for Texas, or they can pick their own state, whichever state they might want to pick. Like if they have family members in Atlanta, then they might want to, find out what the temperatures or things or the climate is like in Georgia. So that is another center that we will have. Our fourth center will be the weather current events. Now this means that students will be given a chance to read newspapers, articles, and magazines, or something like that. And what they'll do is they'll use a graphic organizer And they will summarize the articles using basic signals, words such as who, what, when, where, how, and why. So they can gather the information. Let's like right here we have weather. And you might want to talk about the type of clouds, like you might have a cumulus cloud or a stratus cloud. Then you might want to talk about what kind of storms the weather produces. If it's thunderstorms, tornadoes, cyclones, or you would talk about the different temperatures. What is the temperature? Celsius and Fahrenheit. And on some of these articles, it's like a burn ban does not include firework grills. Why is there a burn ban? Is it because the air is dry? You know, you want to talk about things like that. You want to find articles and things like that in your daily newspaper or in your in magazines and journals and things like that. And, you know, just find out that information and put it on your graphic organizer. And we as a class will go over the findings. And we'll bounce information back and forth between all, each group. The last center is our severe weather. And we want students to, again, use their prior knowledge of different types of severe weathers that they can think of. And they will compose a Word document on the computer for other findings. You know, you can go on the they can go on the internet. They can ask relatives of any kind of storms that they might have been in it, like maybe a tornado. If a tornado hit near them, they can find out that information and bring that information to the school as a severe weather, and just give that information to each other. So those are the different types of centers that we're going to have for the dyslexic students. We will have the words given to them, such as, like, you know, when we do our charades or something like that. If they're having difficulty reading that as well, then I can give them that word as well. Students, we talked about students with ESL. So the students who are advanced, they can do a little bit more of the on the graphic organizer. They can go outside of the realm of, you know, what kind of storm it might have been, as to give other information on that storm. So these are the centers that I picked, and I hope that you enjoyed my thematic. Thank you.